Let's talk about something pretty incredible. We're going to look at how artificial intelligence is stepping out of the lab and into the field, literally, to become a doctor for trees. And we're going to focus on one of the most important crops on the planet, the coconut tree.
And it really all boils down to this one kind of wild question. Could the phone that's in your pocket right now actually save a global billion-dollar industry? The stakes here are unbelievably high. And the answer, well, it's pretty amazing.
Okay, so let's get right into it. To really get why this tech matters so much, you first have to understand just how vital coconut trees are to the world and the massive challenges farmers have in just keeping them healthy. I mean, for millions and millions of people, this isn't just some tropical plant. It's their entire economy. We're talking food, oil, building materials, the whole shebang. So the health of these trees isn't just an agricultural problem. It's about whether people can feed their families. And to give you a sense of just how fragile this all is, check this out. In Sri Lanka, a single pest, a white fly infestation, wiped out 40% of the king coconut harvest. 40%. That hit over 4 million trees. That's the kind of threat we are dealing with here. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. The old way of doing things means farmers walking around, looking at leaves, trying to spot problems. It's slow, you have to be a real expert, and honestly, by the time you see the damage with your own eyes, it's often way too late. So, how did technology first try to solve this? Well, the first attempt was actually really simple. It was basically like creating a very basic digital eye that could spot trouble before a human even could.
These early systems used what's called the RGB color model. It's the same tech that makes the screen you're looking at right now work. The logic was super simple. Healthy leaves are a certain color, and sick leaves, well, they're a different color. A machine could be taught to spot that difference with perfect accuracy.
So the process was, pretty straightforward, almost robotic. You take a picture of a leaf, the system looks at the red, green, and blue value of every single pixel. Then it just calculates the average color and compares that number to a list of what healthy and sick colors look like. It wasn't really thinking, it was just doing math. A pretty clever first step, but definitely limited.
Okay, but that was just the beginning. Let's move to the next level, because this is where we go from that simple eye to a true digital brain, something that can actually learn and recognize really complex patterns. And this is where deep learning enters the picture. Instead of just averaging out colors, this type of AI uses these complex networks, kind of like an artificial brain, and you show it thousands upon thousands of images. It starts to learn the subtle textures, the shapes, the patterns of a disease, much more like how an actual botanist would see it, instead of just seeing green or brown. And to make this happen way faster, developers use this really clever trick called transfer learning. Think about it like this. An expert chef already knows how to cook, right? They don't need to relearn how to boil water or chop an onion just to make a new dish. It's the same idea. The AI uses its huge library of knowledge about general images to get a massive head start on learning the specifics of leaf disease.
And what's fascinating is that not all these AI brains are created equal. You have all these different models like VGG16 or ResNet 50, and they all have different strengths and different accuracy levels. The top performer on this list, a custom CNN, that's a convolutional neural network, is basically an AI that was built from scratch just for this one job. It's like a constant race to see who can build the smartest, most accurate digital doctor for these trees.
But here's the million-dollar question, right? All this tech sounds great in a lab, but how does it actually perform out in the real world? Let's take a look at how this stuff holds up when you actually put it to the test in the field. And boom, the results really speak for themselves. A really good standard model like ResNet 50 can get you about 94% accuracy, which is fantastic. But then you have a super specialized model, something called DeepSeek Cocoa, that pushes that all the way up to an incredible 99.5%. That is near perfect diagnosis, right there on a farmer's smartphone. But wait, it gets even better. Because a simple sick or healthy diagnosis, that's just the start. The real game changer is that AI can go way beyond that. It can tell you how sick the plant is. It can actually measure the severity of the infection. So here's how it works. First, using a technique called Mask-R-CNN, the AI's first job is just to perfectly outline the leaf in the photo, separating it from all the background noise, the sky, the dirt, other plants. Then, once it knows exactly where the leaf is, it gets even more granular. It creates this precise digital mask that perfectly covers only the parts of the leaf that are showing damage or disease, right down to the individual pixel.
And this is the magic part. The AI then calculates the exact percentage of the leaf that's covered by that sick mask. So the farmer gets a hard number, an objective piece of data that tells them precisely how bad the infection is. That's crucial for deciding how to treat it.
And this tech is not just for spotting brown spots on leaves. Think about counting pests. Trying to manually count tiny little caterpillars that are moving around. It's slow, it's tedious, you're going to make mistakes. But an AI model called YOLO 5, which stands for You Only Look Once, can scan a photo and count every single caterpillar instantly, with almost 97% accuracy. It's an absolute game changer.
So when you zoom out, what does all of this really mean for the bigger picture? This isn't just about saving some coconuts. This is about completely changing the way we think about farming. What we're looking at is the heart of what's being called precision agriculture. It means you can diagnose diseases way faster and earlier. You can dramatically cut down on crop loss. You're basically giving every single farmer an expert botanist right in their pocket. You're moving from guesswork to decisions driven by hard data, which makes the whole process more sustainable and way more efficient. And that really just leaves us with this one massive, exciting question. If we can build an AI that can be a doctor for a single leaf with this level of precision, what's next? What other huge challenges in our global food system are just waiting for their own AI revolution?